Good afternoon, pokesports, and welcome to the first ever team introduction type video. Now, this is called a team introduction because this is the team that I'm going to be using for the following week. So essentially what we're going to be doing in videos like this is going over the whole team, all the sets, all the spreads, why I chose these Pokemon together, etc, etc. And then with that team, we're going to be going to the online VGC Battle Stadium and then just testing them out for the whole week. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Obviously not Wednesday because we have pokesports podcast on the channel on Wednesday. And we're just going to take them onto the battle spot, see how they do, how they fare, whether or not they can get a positive rating. But the team that I have for you guys today actually revolves around both Swoobat, since, you know, Pokemon Home did come out. I did want to try Swoobat with its now accessible hidden ability, Simple, and Whimsicott. Kind of similar strategy to what I had before with the Fling and the Dragapult weakness policy set, but we'll be getting into that later. Now, the core of the team was the Swoobat and the Whimsicott. Immediately when I saw that I wanted a Swoobat and I wanted a Whimsicott, I needed a Pokemon that can take care of ice types, a Pokemon that can take care of dark types, so I thought immediately of Conkeldurr. Now, this Conkeldurr is running the exact same EVs as the Aaron Trailer Conkeldurr, simply because I think that it's good Conkeldurr. It's straightforward, it does exactly what you want Conkeldurr to do, lift things and one-shot things. So we're running Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Rock Slide, Close Combat, triple fighting moves. Maybe I'll take out Drain Punch, I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll take out Close Combat, I haven't decided yet. Well, Close Combat's just there because that's the only way to OHKO a Dynamax Tyranitar with this set. So it's kind of like, that's kind of the only reason it's there. Also, if you ever need to do maximum amount of damage, Close Combat will do a lot more damage than Drain Punch will. So I haven't decided what I want to do there, but for now, I'm going to keep that in that spot. Assault Vest just to make it lift some special attacks, more, and Guts just to make it so I can absorb some burns. Not too bad. Now with Conkeldurr there, I thought, okay, I'm gonna need something to take care of psychic types now, because Conkeldurr is kind of, you know, not too good against psychic types, also not too good against fairy types. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick Duraludon in this spot. Granted, Duraludon doesn't resist fairy types, so we'll get to that in a second. The Duraludon is also very nice because if there's ever a situation where there's a Haturn in Deity or just a Togekiss on the field and you want to try to just get rid of it, Life Orb Duraludon is the way to go. Also, you can't redirect Duraludon because of the Stalwart ability, so it's very good against things like Butterfree, things like Togekiss, things like Indeedee that all have Follow Me or redirection of some sort. Now, I'm running a pretty simple spread, just max special attack, max speed, timid with 4 in special defense, Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, Protect, and Solar Beam. The reason why I have Solar Beam is just because I really need grass on this team somewhere on the off chance that I go against the Gastrodon or I go against, I don't know, anything that I would need grass for. The first thing I could think of is also Rhyperior. I would need a grass type special attack to go against Rhyperior. Now, this is also my Dynamax Pokemon. That's also why I'm comfortable bringing the Life Orb on it, and I'm comfortable bringing Solar Beam on it. My team doesn't really have any, you know, Sun, so Solar Beam otherwise will be useless, but I hope in those 3 turns that I do have Dynamax and a Life Orb, I'm able to use Solar Beam to the maximum potential and, you know, just use that Dynamax to its maximum potential as well. Now, because, like I said before, I didn't have anything to resist Fairy yet, because Duraludon doesn't resist Fairy, it's just neutral to Fairy, I wanted to stick a Rotom-H right here, because Rotom-H can do some serious damage. This is a very specific Rotom-H spread that I've been running for almost every Rotom-H that I do have. It's a very defensive Rotom-H, it's very bold, but can still dish a lot of damage. Now, very standard Rotom-H actually in terms of moves and, you know, items, nothing too fancy, nothing too special. Rotom-H is it's a weird Pokemon for me, simply because I feel like I do need the Thunderbolt on my team, but an Arcanine could also go in this spot and can also do just as well, because my team isn't actually too weak to ground. I do have Whimsicott that resists it, I do have Swoobat that's immune to it, so ground isn't like super threatening to my team. So it's not the Levitate that I need so much. It's the fact that I need that Thunderbolt, and I don't have a spot for Thunderbolt on my Duraludon because I also need that Solar Beam. So I thought, you know what, Rotom-H, let's go for it. Also has access to Will-O-Wisp, which is really nice. I could burn some Pokemon, get some upper hand advantages against the attacking Pokemon. Then Citrus Berry, standard Rotom. It's nothing too fancy, nothing too special. But Rotom-H, the one Pokemon that I love pairing against Rotom-H, or pairing with Rotom-H, I should say, is Gastrodon. Gastrodon takes care of a lot of Rotom's weaknesses, specifically water Pokemon. I'm always afraid to bring Rotom against things like a Gyarados, because Gyarados can just go for Waterfall and dish a lot of damage, especially if he's gonna Dynamax and, you know, do even more damage with Waterfall. So I like to have Gastrodon there. Storm Drain Gastrodon with Rindo Berry, super standard sets. These two sets are super standard, super boring. They're like probably the most recommended sets on Pikalytics, I believe. So you have these two Pokemon next to each other. I'm able to redirect all the water type attacks away from Rotom-H, so that really the only thing that could hit Rotom-H is a rock type move, which Gyarados doesn't tend to use. So I'm pretty safe going for the T-Bolt onto the Gyarados. And then Gastrodon, just a very annoying Pokemon, takes care of things like Dragovich, takes care of rain teams, takes care of anything that has a water move, specifically. Earth Power, Scald, Protect, Recover, super straightforward, super simple. Now this brings us to the cream of the crop, the two Pokemon that I did build this whole team around, and that's Whimsicott and Swoobat. Now with Swoobat's new ability, I'm saying new because it wasn't previously allowed in this generation. Simple. Essentially what it does is all stat boosts are increased by by like double what they usually are. So the first thing I thought of immediately is like, okay, so weakness policy would make it so that this Pokemon would be +4/+4 in both attack and special attack, which is pretty nuts just immediately. Weakness policy on its own is already bad enough. Granted, if you look at Swoobat, its special attack and attack aren't too fancy. It's nothing to really look at twice. But you know, at +4, you're doing a lot of damage. And then I thought, let's make this even worse. Let's boost this even further. Let me grab my Whimsicott with Ganlon Berry, and just use Fling. Use Fling, because instead of boosting my defense by only +1, I would be boosting my defense +2. And what's nice about Swoobat is that Swoobat has access to stored power, which is a stab move. So I get stored power stab, plus the weakness policy special attack boost, plus all of the stat boosts that I'm gonna already have, adding on to the damage of stored power. It's just a lot of damage. You essentially one-shot anything on the field. Now, the issue that I do see immediately with this set, and which has brought me to want to try different type of dark moves with this set as well, is that we look at Whimsicott here. Whimsicott has Fling, Tailwind, Moonblast, and Charm. Immediately, the Fling is the biggest problem that I had with Fling when I was running it with my Dragapult was that if I was going against the redirector, I wouldn't be able to Fling, because I would accidentally fling the berry onto my opponent instead of onto my ally. So that did kind of cause a little bit of a problem. Every time that I saw a Togekiss, this team was very, very difficult to bring with this lead. Maybe I could bring this lead in the back, but the whole point of a lead is to take advantage of that gimmick and get the early Okos. But that's also a part of the reason why I'm bringing Duraludon with Stalwart to take care of that redirection as well. But yeah, this Whimsicott here, Fling, Tailwind, Moonblast, Charm, Prankster with Ganlon Berry, max HP and max speed. I'm running max HP instead of max special attack because I don't have the focus sash here to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable, because, you know, I'm not gonna fling a focus sash. But yeah, all in all, that's kind of the set. Another problem that I did have with the Swoobat set is that although you are able to OHKO almost everything, Heat Wave is it's so necessary, because stored power you can't hit dark types with, and there's a lot of things that resist Psychic, like Steel. So I thought Heat Wave would be a nice little cover up, just to make sure that I'm able to hit some Steel types, hit some Dark types even. I mean, +4, even if it's unstab, but +4 special attack is still enough to do a lot of damage. And if you decide to Dynamax there because there's just so many resistances to Psychic, then that'll be doing an immense amount of damage on top of that. And I also have Amnesia, because Amnesia will bring you up to +4 also. So if you ever find yourself in a situation to where, like, oh, I can't I can't Fling yet because he has a Togekiss on the field. You could always take advantage of that Togekiss being there and go for Amnesia. You're still going to get yourself the +4 special defense. Even if your weakness pulse isn't proc, the +4 is still a lot of damage. And it's still tanky enough to where you can take a lot of hits as well. But all in all, that's the team that we're going to be using this week. Please let me know down below if you like this type of video where I just introduce you guys to the team and then, you know, play that team out throughout the whole week. I think it'll be a lot of fun because a lot of you people, I know a lot of you guys out there like know that I have the team in the descriptions of like the whole Showdown import, but I get a lot of questions like, what is this for? Why do you bring this instead of this? So this is a nice way to introduce you to the team and, you know, my thought process that came behind picking them as well. Please let me know if you guys enjoyed. If you did, you guys know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to support pokesports in the cheapest and fastest way possible. I'm Ovation. This is pokesports. Have a great night. Peace out.